And we are live. Pretty sure we are. And we are live. All right, sweet. So today, basically, what I'm going to be talking about, and might have some other people join in here, is we're going to be talking a little bit about emotions and what emotions are, why do we feel them, what is the purpose of them, and basically how to navigate emotions and how to use emotions to help you along this journey that we call life. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is let's talk about dealing with negative emotions, because negative emotions can significantly hold us back on our journey here, and it can stop us from moving forward and learning and accelerating our growth process here. So let's take a look at some negative emotions. So some negative emotions that you could feel is guilt, fear, shame, anger, hate. And they kind of all stem from one source, and that source being fear. Everything stems back to fear. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit on how to process these negative emotions. And so the first step in processing these emotions is first recognizing that you're feeling these negative emotions. If you're not able to recognize that you're feeling a certain way, then you're doomed, and your emotions are just going to have complete control over your life. The first step if is kind of taking a step back if you're feeling like shit, which I'm assuming everybody that's listening to this is able to able to take that step back and put yourself in that third person perspective. But you have to put yourself in that third person perspective and kind of think it like in you don't want to analyze your emotions too much. You want to first feel them out. And because if you don't feel those emotions initially, they're gonna hunt you down, and they're gonna keep coming and coming until you process them. So the first step is processing those negative emotions and feeling and truly feeling those emotions and allowing those emotions to take you over, basically. And that doesn't mean acting out on those emotions. It doesn't mean if you're really sad, crying. If that's a way of coping for you, then go for it. But when it comes to anger and things like that, it's not, you don't want to lash out. That's not what I mean by feeling and letting those emotions take over. It's first processing and feeling those emotions. And then you want to take a step back and kind of think like, why ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? What has caused me to feel like this? Is it something that just happened? Like if it's some like an emotion that just triggered right away like that, say someone cut you off in traffic and it made you extremely angry. Ask yourself, why did that make you so angry? Because we have no idea. You have no idea that person what's going on in that person's life that cut you off in traffic. They may be rushing somebody to the hospital. We honestly have no idea. And so whenever we're feeling negative emotions like that, it's extremely important to take that step back and to kind of observe why you're feeling that way. And there are also very much deeper reasons on why you could be feeling a certain negative emotion. And that's either, oh, like there's so many different ways, like through like childhood trauma and things like that. That's a lot to unpack. And it can be very painful, and it can just bring up even more negative emotions. But it's important that you go through that and experience those negative emotions, because otherwise they're going to keep on coming. It's just going to you're going to experience that your whole life. Like there's some people that go throughout their whole life and with experiencing these and not processing and unpacking these childhood traumas that they experience, that are constantly producing these negative emotions. And so that's the first step in processing emotions. You want to feel them out and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And also getting into the next part is those emotions. It's very possible that those emotions are not yours. Let me explain. So if you're constantly hanging around people and surrounding yourself with people that are constantly negative and bringing you down and always bringing their egos to the table and not leaving it at the door, you're, that energy is going to rub off onto you. You're going to become that. Whoever you surround yourself with is going to affect you mentally and energetically. So that's one thing, how you can pick up on these negative emotions. And another is through sexual intercourse. So sex is a energy transfer. It's a transfer of energy. By having sex with somebody, you're exchanging information between each other. And so if that person the person that you're sleeping with is in a constant state of fear and is constantly anxious, depressed, those emotions are going to rub off onto you because sex is an energetic exchange. And so those are just a couple of examples on how negative emotions can impact on you. And so now we're going to talk about a little bit on how emotions are creating reality and how negative emotions are obviously going to create a reality that is not beneficial towards you, and it can create a reality that is not fun, like a life that is not fun. You're always experiencing negative emotions and emotions that are constantly bringing you down. It's not fun. It really hold on, I just lost this. Okay, there we go, we're back. But yeah, it's not fun because you're constantly living in this lowered state. And so while you're while you're experiencing these negative emotions and living in this state, negative things are going to happen to you. Those things are going to be naturally drawn to you. And you're going to see every single situation. You're going to see the negative in every single situation. However, when you create a structure in your life where you're able to experience and feel positive, uplifting emotions, your life is going to be positive and uplifting, and you're going to be living in a constant state of awe. And you'll be able to see the bright side in every single situation, which is very key, and it's very important for navigating this reality. A lot of successful people that you talk about, a lot of successful people that have built these great, amazing things in life is what there's one key thing that is common within all these people, and it's they understand how the reality works. They understand how this world works. They understand that being in the 434 state, or being in a state of awe and experiencing these positive, uplifting emotions, is the key to manifesting their dream life. Because if the creator of this world, it operates in a certain frequency, and this frequency is a frequency of love, joy, and hope. And so if you are wanting to tap into the manifesting properties of this reality, you have to raise your vibration so you're able to experience these positive, uplifting emotions, which are then in turn creating the reality that you so desire, and just making life so much more easier here. And so where was I? Yeah, so being in a constant state of awe, reaching the state of awe as many times as you can, as much as you can, staying in that state as much as you can is going to greatly impact you. And like I was saying earlier, it's going to be attracting all these different things, to be attracting people that are in a similar vibration to you as well. You'll start to see, as you start to change your emotions, you'll see more positive people start coming in and entering your life, and it makes you a much more attractive and much more vibrant and fun person to be around. No one wants to be around a person that is negative. It's not fun. They'll always point out the bad in everything, and they'll always be complaining about something. There's always something wrong. However, when you're around a positive, uplifting person, you can tell, because you're going to feel it right away as soon as you interface with them. And so that's going to help you being experiencing those emotions of positive and uplifting emotions are going to greatly impact your reality. So it's for people that are stuck in that constant loop of experiencing emotions that are constantly bringing them down. And the first thing that you have to do is understand and have hope that you can change. You can change those emotions, because you have complete control over your emotions. Your emotions are not wild, running free, and reckless. Well, they can't be reckless, but they're not unchangeable. Those emotions are able to be changed. And so we're gifted when we're born into as a human, we're gifted with a wonderful brain that allows us to use our logical mind to create a structure for us to be able to experience certain emotions. And so if you're constantly experiencing these negative emotions, you most likely unconsciously or even consciously created most of the time it's unconsciously, but created a structure in your life where you were only experiencing negative emotions. And that all comes down to the food you're eating. If you're eating a lot of processed junk, then you're already working. It's already an uphill battle, because you're feeding your body fake shit and shit that just crap DNA. And that's what you're feeding your body. So if you're looking to experience more positive emotions, better emotions, that's the first thing you can change, and you can do that. And you just have to it's almost like, so you're in that constant loop where you're just like constantly eating bad. You just have to put like a stake, be like, no, like, and just discipline yourself to where, okay, I'm like not going to do that. I'm just surround yourself with healthy food all the time, and you'll start to eat more healthy. And it's okay if you eat like a little junk food snack every once in a while. That's not a problem. But let me get back to it. So it's important, and let me get back to using your logical mind to create that structure to experience those emotions. Also, doing things that brings you joy. I know it's hard. I know it's hard whenever you're in that state that where you're constantly in a depressed state, but you have to find things that bring you joy. And spending time out in nature is going to bring you back it's going to bring you back and help you connect to the present moment and the stillness of life. So that's a very easy thing you can do. It's very easy to go outside and connect with nature. Animals as well, connecting with animals as well is very extremely helpful. And just filling your life with as much as that as you possibly can is extremely important. So what's another thing you can do to help create that structure? Also, like I mentioned earlier, cut out negative people. You can do that right now. If someone is not adding value to your life, cut them out. There's no place for them. If they're not bringing value to you, then it's just dead weight. Like, it's just bringing you down. If they're constantly bringing you down and devaluing you, get rid of them. It's even if it's a family member, just it's important. Like, just don't just cut off. Just say no. Just stay out of there. And then obviously it's okay if you're at family gatherings to interact with them and such. But I going back to the logical structure, building that structure. What's another thing you could do that's going to help you experience more positive emotions? Mm-hmm. Nothing's coming in for me right now other than that. So really emphasize on getting outside of nature, hanging out with animals if that's what you love, and just doing more of whatever sparks that light inside of you. Even if it sparks a little light inside of you, even if it just brings you a little bit of joy, double down on it and do it more. It's going to greatly impact your mental health, and it'll give you hope and it'll give you motivation to be able to create a better structure to help experience those emotions. So, and that's kind of emotions, experiencing emotions is, so it's kind of like what we came here to do, whether it's good or bad, whether we're experiencing negative or positive emotions. It's because everything in life is emotion based. Most decisions we make in life, or not, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of decisions we make in life come from our emotional based decisions. And we see, we mainly see life through, it's important to see life through an emotional lens. This is why 10 years from now, you may not remember somebody's name, but you will remember how that person made you feel. And that's extremely powerful. We always want to be around things and do things that make us feel happy and give us joy and pleasure. We want to constantly be doing those things. And whenever we're trying to see things through a logical lens, it takes the fun out of life. It takes the flavor out of it. If we're constantly analyzing and just being like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it takes the flavor out of life, seeing everything through a logical lens. But don't get me wrong, using your logical mind is extremely important, and it's important in the sense of creating structures that help you and others experience those positive emotions. That's, at the end of the day, that's how we should be using our gifts here. And do I have anything else to talk about? Yes, I touched a little bit. I touched base on this a little bit earlier on how emotions are used with manifestations and creating your reality. So what helps, I'll just give a little, this is going to be a little tip on how I use emotions to manifest things. The manifestation process doesn't come through thoughts. It comes through emotions, because emotions at the end of the day is what is creating reality. If we break down the word emotion, it comes out to energy and motion. And wherever your attention, oh, excuse me, wherever the energy is going, that is what is manifesting and creating in this reality. For example, if I'm working hard on all day, I don't know, landscaping or something, shit's gonna get done because that's what I'm putting my energy towards. If you're putting your emotional energy towards something, say let me think of an example. Say I'm putting my emotional energy towards, I don't know, something like some world event. Let's say a mass world event has happened, and let's say it's a world event that could be considered as negative. say something very bad happens. And if I contribute a lot of my emotional energy of fear, if I contribute my emotional energy of fear towards that, it's going to amplify the collective's response to it. And that's not a good thing. We don't want to make a situation worse by contributing, by being fearful about a situation that happens in the world. It's important that it's okay to feel that at first, but it's important to take a step back and to see, okay, acting negatively towards this situation is not going to, it's not going to do anybody any good. It's extremely important to take a step back and see and enter into and kind of see the possibilities and see the positive possibilities that can come out of this event and seeing the bright side of things. But yeah, that's all I have for today. So thanks for stopping into the live, and we'll see you next time. Peace.